Hi, I'm Joe. My story is about surviving childhood sexual abuse. There's a painful verse in the Old Testament where Job tells God to turn away from me so I can have a moment's joy. There are many dark times in my past, and I'm grateful that I never wanted God to turn away from me so I could have a moment's joy. When I was in my early 20s, after my parents had divorced, I let Mom know that there was something I wanted to tell her because I didn't think it should have to be my secret alone. When I was in elementary school and my bedroom was in the basement, on nights when Dad had been drinking, he would molest me. When I heard the basement door open and his heavy footsteps on the stairs, I would feel dread and panic. I hoped he would not stop at my bed. When he did, I would shrink down deep inside myself. In my childish mind, I believed I was making myself so tiny that he couldn't touch the real me. I waited for this to end so I could be alone again and quietly cry myself to sleep. When I was in middle school, it got even worse. Dad escalated the abuse to include rape. It was not just at night anymore, and not just when he'd been drinking. It was not uncommon for me to get up in the morning with bruises on my arms and legs from being held down. Isaiah 41:10 was my anthem, and I would say it over and over again to calm myself. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. When I finished telling Mom about all of this, she said, I did not know, but I believe you. Knowing your father, he is capable of this type of abuse. I am so sorry for all the things that have happened to you. Hearing Mom's belief in me gave me great healing. Knowing that she still loved me and being able to talk openly about the past shone a light in the dark corners. I also shared with Mom a poem I had written entitled Bedtime. Good night, baby. Sleep well. Wait, Mama, don't go just yet. I get afraid when you turn off the light. Bad things happen in the dark. Don't be silly, child. There's no monster waiting to hurt you. Oh, Mom, if only you knew. If I could tell you, could you make it stop? Would you be able to protect me? Would it get better or worse? God help me. Hush now, baby, dream sweet. Yes, Mama, good night. A few years after that conversation, Mom told me that she forgave Dad. And I said, Mom, how could you? Don't you remember how awful it was? The things that he said and the things that he did. He didn't hurt us accidentally. He was intentional in his pain. And she said, Joe, I am sorry for all of that, and I wish I could have protected you. But hating your father was a cancer eating me up inside, and I had to lay this down for my own peace. God has taken this from me, and I am free. Much as I wanted Mom to feel better, I felt betrayed. I thought I needed my wrath because it justified all that I had suffered. I was paying Dad back by hating him. But that was a lie from the father of lies. My unforgiveness separated me from God, and it was sin. I was at a retreat, and the speaker was explaining that to forgive someone doesn't mean you have to be in a relationship with them. It means you're releasing that person to God. I knew that it was time, and God had done a powerful work in me, giving me understanding of what forgiveness meant. And I was also freshly reminded of how much God had forgiven me. We were encouraged to write down the name of someone we held a grudge against on a small piece of paper, and when ready, bring it to the front of the chapel and lay it down at the cross. I wrestled with God in prayer and tears. I didn't know who I would be if I stopped wishing Dad to suffer. What did that say about my past if I let him go? God comforted my spirit and assured me it would be better if I trusted him in this. Taking Dad's name up to the front of the cross was one of the hardest things I have ever done. But immediately, I experienced relief and the Spirit's assurance of peace. Forgiving doesn't mean forgotten, and I haven't forgotten my abuse. My abuse is a part of me. It's not all that I'm about, and it is not the biggest part of me. And God is using it for good as I'm able to come alongside others and help them see what God sees when he looks at them in love. Did the anger well up inside me from time to time when memories would surface? Yes, but I recall the words 70 times 7. Forgiveness is a process, and God is holding my hand and leading me and guiding me in this, so I'm not held back by this particular sin. Trust me, this is all the power of God at work in me. On my own, I have a different scenario, but God is that big to change my heart and transform my perspective. I've even gotten to the place of healing where I'm able to pray for my dad. Jesus tells us in Matthew 5:44 to pray for those who spitefully use you and persecute you. I pray for Dad to come to know the Savior, to be forgiven and forgive himself, to be able to love himself and love others. I confess, I don't pray for my dad often, but it's a huge progress that I don't enjoy the thought of him going to hell. I deserve hell just as much as my dad. All have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. I'm grateful that hell is not my eternal destination, and I wish for no one to go there, even child molesters and rapists. As I became more honest and open with myself, God, and others, I became transformed to who I was created to be. As I surrendered to God, he delivers on his promise to bring beauty from the ashes, and I have better relationships with anyone God places in my path. I became less self-centered and freer to love. I now have divine peace and joy. I care, we care, let us care for you.